good morning to all of the students, and as well as good morning to all my fellow distinguished panel members and all the faculties of the Amity University. It's been indeed a pleasure kind of to be here and to talk to all of the kind of budding students who kind of looking forward in their journey. And of course, all of you have chosen Amity as a platform in a way to look ahead. So I just thought, I've been thinking that what do I want to talk to all of you about? So I thought I'm going to talk to you about two things, right? One is about my own journey, right? How this whole started for me. In a way, and then, I'm going to just quickly kind of give you some perspective on what is it we're seeing around the world in the context of, what are the things which are changing around us. So in terms of my own journey, right? So I started, I come from a very average, middle-class family. And I was also a very average student while I was kind of growing up. I actually picked up. So I studied most of my life in government-funded schools, and then actually I started my education. My education focused on my education. Let me put it that way. Started when I enrolled for graduation, and at the time, then actually the realization is that education is the only way possibly I can gain some relevance. Right, and that is very, very important for all of you to internalize and to realize this, that education is a great leveler, right? Whatever background you come from, and if you acquire the right set of skills, and most of us will get opportunities, right? We keep hearing the word, right? The luck. It's actually, the luck is always on your side. The question is that when there are opportunities, are you able to, in a way, grab those opportunities? And that is what, in a way, eventually determines whether luck was on your side or it was not on your side, because you got to grab the opportunities. So I actually started, my real education from graduation. I studied from Calcutta University. And then I was a merit holder in the university. I enrolled for chartered accountancy, and then I did my CA with All India rank. In fact, my younger brother did better. He was All India topper when he did his CA as well. And why CA? In a way, why chartered accountancy? It's like a purpose, right? I think that was my purpose at that point in time, that I wanted to be a chartered accountant, right? And that, in a way, resulted into me kind of pursuing the same very, very aggressively, with a lot of focus, a lot of passion. So what does that mean? That you got to also figure out your purpose, right? Right now is the time for you to figure out that what is it you want to do over next 5 years, over next decade, right? And that is, to my mind, as I look back, right, is going to be the most important. This 10 years, to my mind, is going to be the most important time in your journey, which eventually will decide, right, what you will do for next 30 years, okay, till the time you retire, assuming, let's say, 60s is when you're going to retire from. So most of you will be 17 to 20, I guess. And you will have a decade to kind of shape up your future. Next 5 years are very, very important. I think, I heard Professor Jan, talked about, the corporate world and the current kind of phase of life in terms of learning, skilling, right, and making mistakes. Right. So it's an opportunity, right? You can learn, you can acquire new skills, you have an opportunity to make mistakes, and again, learn from your mistakes, because the cost of making mistake will only keep going up as you keep, in a way, keep kind of moving ahead in your life journey. right? So right now is the time to learn, to experiment, to do whatever you want to do, and then course correct, right? Course correct, because later on, it becomes increasingly difficult to change the course. But right now the world is open, right? So I did my CA. In terms of, I had also an opportunity to kind of look at that, to course correct, to get my kind of studies, with a lot of force and vigor. Also, I think the time I also had an opportunity to build, right, a lot of good relationships, a lot of trusted relationship with friends, when we were studying together. And when I say this, what I want you to reflect upon is that in the campus, right, you will have many such opportunities to build relationships, to build trust, right? And these are some of the relationships, again, which will carry, right, for your life. Actually, these are some of the things which you're just never going to forget. And that is what you also need to reflect upon. That what is it you're going to do over the next 5 years, right? As you spend your life being a student. And my advice to all of you is to be constructive, be positive, share as much as you can with your fellow students, in a way, with your faculty member. Demonstrate a lot of curiosity, right? Ask the questions. There is no right or wrong question, right? So just ask questions, and also be in search of answers, right? And that will again help you to build a lot of strong relationships with your students, right? With your fellow students, with your faculty member, and that will in a way carry on, for your life. And that's very, very, so till today as well, when I look back, as I said, I realize the amount of strength you acquire from these relationships. Okay. So that's another thing which I when I reflect on my journey, has helped me. And then I kind of started, once I did my chartered accountancy and my company secretaryship, I joined corporate organization HCL Technologies. And that is where I think the key was to just kind of dive in, right? And that's where the world of, so to say, you just exposed. And I also liked actually, what I heard in the orientation today, is that many of your decisions, right, till now have been taken by your parents on your behalf, or you kind of been guided, influenced significantly, right? I think next decade for you is actually also going to open up a lot more in terms of you being empowered to take your own decisions, right? But of course, if you have to consult, right, you should never hesitate to consult when you have to take decisions. If you're clear in your head, of course, you should take your decisions. You should follow more your mind, right? Then in a way, intuition is great. Intuition, of course, is great, but emotions, right? When you have to take decisions, follow more your mind, more intuition, but less of emotions, I would say. But of course, it has to be a balance. But I think you will have, I think the point I'm trying to make is that you will have many more opportunities to take decisions, right? And decisions, what will you take, will actually shape up in a way the course of your life. And that is what is also very, very important for you to realize. Every decision has its consequence, right? It's a consequence on you. It's a consequence for people who are connected with you. So you got to be extremely, extremely kind of, careful while you are making judgments, while you're making decisions, as you progress in your journey. So I dived into the corporate world, and then in a way I excelled, right, over a period of time. And now I've got an experience of more than 2 decades in terms of working with corporates and professionals across the board. So, and then, what all has resulted into this success. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about, as apart from, let's say, what I have achieved from that perspective. So when you think about what all actually result into success. So first and foremost important thing is that um, you know are you being able to, in a way, keep the clutter, right? Keep the clutter outside of your mind. I think it is extremely important. What does that mean? Is that for you to be focused, right? For you need to be driven in terms of what you want to do, in terms of what is good for your surrounding, where you are. It's not only for about me, but what is good for the organization, what is good for the institution, and what is good for the people who you associate with. And that should be, in a way, your focus and purpose from that perspective, and that will help you to drive more energy, right? And you need to be able to connect. You need to be able to participate. You need to be able to express your thoughts, right? Your ideas. If you were to keep it to yourself, it will not help you to grow, right? It will not help you to become a better professional. You may know everything, but if you don't share, if you don't express, if you don't kind of participate, it again becomes a limiting factor in your own journey. So I think the idea in this connected world is more to share, more to express yourself, more to participate, more to learn. And that will also help you in a way to grow in your professional journey as you kind of move ahead, from as you kind of acquire different skills over next 5 years. So the things what you need to demonstrate a lot more curiosity. You need to demonstrate purpose, and then you need to follow it, right? And then you need to follow it. There is no shortcut to success, right? There is no shortcut to success. So you've got to give it your best, and kind of pursue that, because whatever you're going to do over next 5 to 10 years, as I said, it will in a way drive your journey, for next 30 years from that perspective. So now, in a way, talking about what do we see around the world, what is changing around us. And you heard during the discussion itself that this pandemic has actually changed many things around us, okay? As we all been able to connect, all will be able to, in a way, engage with each other, but all of this is happening digitally, right? All of this happening is digitally. And that is what we see as the biggest disruption, biggest change in this century from that perspective. So when we kind of reflect as to how the society has been shaped up, right? And when you say the agriculture revolution was the first big change in the context of when societies started to reorganize themselves, they started to, in a way, then the laws were formed, they kind of formed groups, and why all the societies are on the banks of rivers and all is because of the agriculture, right? That was the first big change in the lifetime of human evolution. And then the next big change which happened was in 19th century, right? When we had the Industrial Revolution. And when you look at the Industrial Revolution, that in a way changed anything and everything around us in terms of mechanization of all of things, what we were able to do, and significantly resulted into enhancement into the productivity, right? And then, of course, it also resulted into a lot of wars, a lot of destruction, and then reorganization after Second World War. I think what we are witnessing today, to my mind, is a technology revolution. Okay. And this, in a way, this decade is actually going to change many things around us. And when we look at technology revolution, it is actually disrupting every sector, right? And the biggest disruption is what we're seeing itself. Let's say the education sector, right? Today we have Byju's, a company which has just grown up in last decade. All right.
May I request other panelists to please mute themselves? Thank you so much. So please continue.
Okay, so I was talking about the biggest disruption we've been experiencing is, let's say, in every sector, right? I was talking about Byju's, right? It's a company now which has grown from nowhere to be the most expensive startup in the education sector, right? In India, right? And then you look at retail. We've had companies, the modern trade in existence in India for more than 2 decades when, let's say, Big Bazaar had started. And today, Big Bazaar is actually on the verge of bankruptcy, the not, so to say, and they're likely to get acquired by somebody. But when you look at the new age companies of the like of Amazon and Flipkart, Amazon globally is a $2 trillion business in terms of market capitalization, and Flipkart is one of the largest startup in the country in terms of consumer retail, right? When you look at healthcare, we have a number of companies in the healthcare. When you look at the fintech, we have a number of companies in the financial services sector. So you look at any sector, right? And every sector is getting disrupted today. With the pace which is unimaginable, right? With the pace which is unimaginable. And we believe that this is going to be the order of the day for next decade. The opportunity is so large that everything around us is bound to change, right? Whether every means of engagement will change, and all of that will change on the back of data, right? On the back of data is what we're witnessing. In the back of sensors, what we're going to witness, everything around us. In fact, the mobile technology or the computing is going to be so powerful that we will get many things done, which in a way it likes more of magic, right? And that is what will change. So the opportunity, I think, for all of you, as you are the cusp of acquiring newer skills, right? As you are in a way have an opportunity to ask more questions, right? You have an opportunity in a way to experiment, right? Because the cost of doing from your perspective is far less. It's something where I have to in a way delve into experimentation at my stage of career, at my stage of in a way what I'm doing in a way from that perspective. So I think the point I'm just trying to make is that the change is going to be tremendous around us. And it is for you to embrace the change. It is for you to, in a way, define this change. And that is what the opportunity many of you will have as you progress. And the key will be for you to make decisions, right? Make decisions which will help you and consult, right? So that is what I wanted to share with all of you. And I think for overall mantra to success, as I have experienced, you got to team, you got to collaborate, you got to share, and you got to have curiosity, right? You got to have curiosity, and above all, you need to have optimism, right? You need to have optimism, and you need to be fearless. So if you are fearless, you will have the ability then to experiment. You'll have the ability to ask the question. You'll have the ability to engage. You'll have the you can do things which you think is not for you, right? From that perspective, but of course in a positive way, in a positive way. So I know we are running behind time as well. I would like to conclude my remarks here, and of course, if there are any questions, I'm not sure. Professor Jayati, if you can take questions, I'm happy to take questions as well to share my perspective on any of things you may have. Thank you very much.